Walt Disney. I would like to welcome all of you to the Park Streamers Hangout tonight. Bob, Danny, and Cordy are dear friends, and I know they have an amazing podcast for you. So thanks for joining us tonight, and enjoy the show.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Park Stringers Hangout. We are excited to be here with you tonight. We have a great show with a wonderful special guest with us tonight. But before we get to that special guest, let's just say hi to our other co-hosts and guests here tonight. Guests, you guys are just the hosts. Hello. So we have Cordy in California. How are you doing tonight? Cordy? All right, can you hear us? I don't know if she can hear us.
She's not. I've got a little echo. I might have to go off and come back on. But hello, everybody. Good evening.
Well, Cordy, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me, Cordy in California, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. That's about it. That's where you'll find me.
That is very true. And down below here, we have our very special theme park casual. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Hey, kids. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter /X, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual. So if you want to follow me, check me out on Instagram and Twitter, where I do a little bit of posting there.
Very good. I'm sure Cordy will be right back with us. But good evening, everyone. I'm Barry Place 28. You can find me at Barry Place 28 on YouTube, Instagram, X, and Facebook. So definitely hit me up on my socials there. And with that, I'm sure Cordy will be back. But we have a lot of things to cover tonight, including a very special guest that we're going to be bringing on in just a moment. About a month ago, I was streaming in the park with Rabola and with Jen's Crochet, which I know all of you are familiar with. And we happened to get stuck on this ride called Pirates of the Caribbean. And we got stuck.
Is that a new ride?
Yeah, it seems like it, but it's a classic. And so we got stuck right at the end as you're entering, and you can see the boats going by with the pirate bird in the background. So that's where we got stuck, and we happened to be there, and we were having a lot of fun. The three of us are all sitting together, and we happened to, just make light of being stuck on Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, one of the cool things was we actually had someone in front of us who started talking to us and asking us if we were live. In fact, it was so funny. She told us who she was. She was telling everyone to like and subscribe. But you know what? Instead of just telling you about it, let's just take a look at it real quick and show you what that was like. So let me bring up the video here so you guys can see that. Here we go. I'm going to zoom out. And this is what it was like.
What's your name?
Shannon Stone. I'll follow you.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh my God.
Happy anniversary. All right, let's say hi.
My 2 years at Disney. Past number.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Like, follow, subscribe.
There we go. Exactly. David, how are you?
Keep following.
Oh, yes.
I used to go live all the time. And
You
it was
did?
like, follow, subscribe, keep following, keep hitting those
You
likes.
still have a channel?
I used to do Meet Me, Live Me, TikTok.
Oh, wow.
It's exhausting to
Takes
go
time.
live, yeah.
Yep. That's fun. I like it.
Like if I'm not dancing and like doing something, they're like, okay.
Where do you work in the park?
I do recruiting for the TV shows and the films. So like, and if they need a line producer,
Nice.
a direct, like anything like below the line recruiting, above the line,
That's cool.
I get them. An accountant, a director, a line producer, whatever they
Nice.
need.
That's awesome.
That's my job. How many people are watching?
Right now we have 36. We had more, but I had to end my stream and start it again. So that's
Is there
why
good
it says,
reception here?
with this I do, but for
Cast
some
member
reason,
comment? Is that a CM comment?
yes, it says leave a positive cast member comment. See?
Hello, David.
G-Man actually said that. So
Hi, G-Man. Hey, David. Hey, Rachel. We are stuck on this ride right now. We're Pirate Girl Trish. We've got Chad in the house. We've got some good follow. David, G-Man, Haunted Mansion. We've got the Disney game in Disney Mermaid. Going live is the best. It really is. That's awesome. Hello, everyone. Make sure you're following, liking, commenting. What's your name? My name is Shannon Stone. You can follow me at the Shannon Stone on Instagram. So nice to meet you, David.
There you go.
Okay, so that's how we met. That's how we met the Shannon Stone on Pirates of the Caribbean. And so I had the pleasure of keeping in touch with her and gracefully asking if she would actually like to come on the show to talk about what she does at Disney. And she graciously said hello. So I'd like to bring her on now. Everyone, welcome to the stage, the Shannon Stone. How are you, Shannon?
Going live is the best.
It is.
Thanks so much for having me. What an intro. I mean, we've come far from Pirates, I'd say.
Well, we have, definitely. But, you were there to have fun and celebrate because you were celebrating your 2-year anniversary with Disney that night, which was pretty awesome. And I think, what's funny is, and I think you guys will agree with me, but when we go to Disneyland and when we actually get to spend time with family and friends, but you also get to meet other people there. I've met so many people. It's so awesome. And having the opportunity to meet you at the park was really, really cool. I know that Rob Ola, who was with us, as well as Jen's Crochet, enjoyed meeting you as well. And I just think it's really cool when we can meet new friends and, share something in common. Now, not only do we, share the fact that we like Disney, but you work for Disney. So that's pretty amazing.
I mean, that is the best part about rides breaking down is you get to become friends with everyone on your boat. So, shout out to Pirates for always breaking down, making people come together. But yes, I was celebrating my 2 years, which was incredible. I was brought on as a project hire during my friend's maternity leave. And it was supposed to be just a 4 to 6 month gig. And I've expanded to now 2 years, and it looks like they might hopefully be bringing me on for a lot longer. And we'll get into more of that. But yeah, it was a good celebration.
That is very, very cool. And obviously you have some really, really cool photos of, that day. I know that the thumbnail that I used, for the stream tonight
the Mickey
was,
too.
Yep, the Mickey with you. Yep, doing the Mickey too. So very, very cool. But there's so much more than you've done besides being a recruiter for Disney. But before we get into all that, since you did mention that you're, a recruiter for Disney, hiring crew members for the Disney studios and projects, can you tell us what that job entails? And where do you actually work?
Yeah, so I do work on the Disney Burbank Studios lot, which is so magical. It really feels like a separation of Disneyland, like a second home to it. So every time you walk on, there is just that movie magic that Disneyland has. And we're a very new team. It's been about 2 to 3 years that we've been there and building this crew recruitment team. And we're basically trying to help support the studios. We have Lucasfilm, Marvel, Searchlight, 20th, Disney Live Action. So we have a lot of productions that are filming, and there is a gap in hiring needs in the different departments. So we meet with first the head of production at Disney and see if they need a line producer. And then we go from there. If they have a line producer in need, then we will meet with their line producer and UPM and say, do you need any head of departments? And we kind of trickle down from there. And so far, it's been really great. I think everyone's kind of getting used to this because a lot of meetings we take and they're like, wow, this is so new. Like, we didn't know we could get help. And it's because we film globally, and, we just took a wardrobe girl from New Zealand, and she's brand new, and we're filming in Atlanta for a movie. And she was like, thank you so much. Like, I don't know anyone out here in Atlanta. Like, thank you. So I think it's going to be a good hit, and I hope it goes well.
That's awesome. So besides the crew members that you hired, you mentioned that, you're working on several different projects. Can you talk about what some of those projects are?
Well, I know one is out there right now, Mandalorian. They decided to instead make it a movie. So season 4 will be a feature length. And then we have the Moana has been announced. That is currently about to be in production. We're filming that one. So I got to help crew up for that. And we have 2 here in LA right now. I'm not sure if they've been announced. I'm pretty sure, but I'll be careful. But yeah, there's 2 here filming right now in LA. So, very exciting. And then there's also the TV side, which I help work on. I help the 20th TV team recruit their accountants. And we'll get into more. I came from an accounting background, which is how I came into Disney first. But it's really cool to help with, especially like Ryan Murphy projects, which I love Ryan Murphy. I love horror. So getting to help work on his projects has been really cool.
That's awesome. What are some of your favorite Disney projects that you worked on?
Well, I have to give myself a little clap because it took me 6 months, but I got the Avatar accountant. The Avatar accountant for the first 3 films was retiring, and they needed a new accountant out here in Los Angeles to take on the rest of 3, 4, 5, 6, however many there's going to be. And it took me 6 months. It was a very hard gig because, obviously it's a very large project, a big time length. They do film out in Manhattan Beach Studios. So you have to be okay with driving out there, which if you're in the Valley or in LA, you only drive in certain areas and keep that. But I did get the accountant for Avatar, which was, I cried and it was amazing. I was so proud to be able to work on the biggest movie ever and help get the accountant for it so that they could continue budgeting and make the film. So I was like, without me, they couldn't continue. No, I'm kidding. But,
so Danny and Cordy, we have a new friend over there in the Avatar side for the movies.
Exactly.
Yeah. So going to that premiere was, I obviously wasn't the accountant working on it for that movie, but just being able to be a part of Avatar, that was so much fun. And that's pretty cool. I made myself proud on that one.
Yeah, that's quite an achievement. So congratulations on that one. That is awesome. Very cool. Well, I don't want to ask all the questions. Danny, Cordy, do you guys have any questions you want to ask?
Well, mine was more about, it's just kind of one of those standard questions, I guess, but we might have viewers out there that are, interested in finding out, like, what are some tips you would give people if they're, into the movie industry or even like getting into that world in, one way or another, like any tips you can offer people?
So one tip, and it's what I did, and that was, I started out as an extra at Central Casting, and that was just to get myself on set and to see who and what I liked on set, what I wanted to do, who I could meet. And it really is all about networking. And I don't want to say it's all in who you know, but it's making those connections and getting yourself on set, even as an extra, which I would say would be the easiest way. Production assistants and growing that way, but really networking helps a lot. Going to AFI screenings or, it's just, you never know who you're going to run into. So always be open to chatting and giving out your number and just saying, being open about what you want to do and just being honest and being like, I'm looking to do this, because maybe that person might know someone else and being like, oh, I met this really cool person. They're looking to do this. And I know, so be open and network. And I think that really goes a long way.
Thank you.
Now you said that you started as an extra and now you're doing the team building basically for the movie. Do you do any more acting? And if so, how do you squeeze that in to your regular job?
I don't act anymore. I've put that on pause. Obviously we saw it was a very bad strike that we had, and I definitely had the mindset that I had to get a full-time job, and that, so out of college, I really kind of dug into my accounting background, and that's how I got into other shows. But no, I'm not acting anymore. I do some modeling and influencing still, and I was on the last season of Vanderpump Rules doing some reality TV shooting, but I haven't done any acting in a few years.
Do you miss it, or is it kind of like, I kind of enjoy the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and seeing the machine putting things together?
Oh, I definitely miss it. I would be lying if I said I didn't. I think being on set, I mean, you're on set for 12 to 14 hours a day, and you become family with the crew that you're on. So I really miss that, crew family dynamic that I had. I really do miss being in front of the camera. Obviously, that would be amazing. But I just knew, there's only one Margot Robbie and Jennifer Lawrence out there, so I'm going to let them do it. And, it was great to, I got to be on camera for some really big shows. And I had always felt like, the universe and God's plan would align itself. And I really feel like where I'm at now is where I'm supposed to be. And looking back at my 20s, I definitely had so much fun on set, but now it's nice to have that stability with Disney and still being within that studio life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and as you guys can see, I posted her IMDb. It's up here. As an actress, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but unfortunately that got cut. Apparently, she's been in episodes of How I Met Your Mother, Up All Night, Jane by Design, Dexter, Desperate Housewives, Glory Days. So, and of course, why is it not showing here?
Vanderpump Rules might be under. That would be under. There it is.
Yes, there it is. So obviously, you had a recurring role on several episodes of Pretty Little Liars, which is really cool too.
Season 2 through 5, I was a Rosewood high school student, and then became a college student.
It says you're in 43 episodes. Is that correct?
Yeah. It was. That's how I got my SAG card. Thanks to them.
Yeah.
Thank you to Sasha. I don't want to give any, if no one's watched the show, but thank you to Sasha for coming back to life.
that was one of my questions. How did you get your SAG card? So.
Yes. So to get your SAG card, really, so I was doing background with Central Casting, and when you're kind of doing it the background way, you have to get 3 vouchers in order to turn into SAG and then pay your dues. So the first one I got by doing a Panera Bread commercial. I don't really know if it aired anywhere out here, but if you saw it, that was awesome. So I got my first SAG card from that. And then when Pretty Little Liars, I had been on the show as a high school student, there 3 to 4 days a week doing background work. And when one of the characters was coming back to life, they were like, "You're SAG, right?" And I said, "No." And they're like, "Oh, well, we're looking for another stand-in because, we're going to need her." And so they were able to get me my extra 2 vouchers. And I graduated college around that same month. And instead of, I took all my college money and joined SAG and graduated that morning, like on stage. And then that morning we were doing a whole explosion scene by night at WB. So it was definitely worth it.
And it was 9 years ago today you got your SAG card, right?
9 years ago today I joined SAG.
That is pretty amazing. That's awesome.
Yes, SAG-AFTRA. So it's been very fun to still, I still pay my dues. I still love to vote at the SAG Awards. I always love to do a little humble brag when I'm watching, when they win. Like when Jennifer Aniston wins, I'm like, my vote helped, So it's still fun to get the screeners and be able to vote and still feel a part of the union. And, I'm sure maybe a question would be, how was it working for the studios during the SAG strike? I don't know if that was a question you guys had, But that was something I did have to deal with last year.
And how was it?
Stressful. I mean, it wasn't fun because a lot of my best friends are still, you know, actors, stand-ins in the union, or, you know, out of work by being crew members, and they can't work. So they're on the picket lines helping support. So it was very hard because I definitely supported everything that they stood for and I want everyone to have more money and, you know, residuals and, you know, all of that. You know, streaming really changed the game for things. So I'm glad that they were able to make an agreement. But it was just hard to, you know, drive on the lot when, you know, your friends might be out there, and it was a little hard, but they were supportive. A lot of most of my friends were very supportive, and they understood. And I had to write to SAG, and I'm like, I work for Disney. Is this going to be like, I hope I'm not crossing the picket line. Like, I support you. It's hard. And my boss is new, so that was fine. But one fun story was I was leaving the animation building, the ABC building across from the lot. And we're leaving with my boss and a few of my coworkers, and Pedro Pascal is walking around. Picketing, and we're like, it's Pedro Pascal, and I didn't know what to do, so I kind of just like pulled over, and I was like, hi. And then we just drove off. But so you just never know who you're going to see there.
Right. So. We are going to come back to some of your Disney stuff and talk about, you know, what it's like working for Disney, some of those perks and everything. But I want to talk about something that recently happened, because you just celebrated your 33rd birthday. So happy belated birthday to you, by the way.
Thank you.
And you celebrated one of our favorite places that most people want to go to but don't get a chance to go to, and that was Club 33. So I think that's
Disney
amazing.
Birthday.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So
yes,
tell us about your experience at Club 33. You've been there before, correct? Obviously.
Yes. So I have to first by, you know, giving a shout out to my really good friend, Crystal Hefner, who is the member. She is so sweet and generous and great. She's beyond amazing. And she has been the reason I've been able to go. So she knew that I was turning 33, and I've been in with her before, but I know I was like, it would be so cool to turn 33 at Club 33. Do you think it would be possible to go? Because I hate to ask her to, you know, take me in, like, the, you know, so it was, you know, she had no problem making the reservation and letting Sean and I go in, and she trusted that we knew the dress code and knew not to take videos since we've been in there before. So the menu had a very special message for me. And then I think I sent a photo of a little card they had on the table with a ribbon on it, and everyone signed their name on it. Like, I couldn't have felt more like a Disney princess in there. And I did make a really fun TikTok reel of the Princess Diaries, where it goes like, look out the window, princess, and welcome to Genovia. And then it's me going to Club 33 with the photos. So it was a Princess Diaries moment for sure.
So there's the menu right there. It says "Happy Birthday, Shannon" from on top of the Club 33 menu, and you guys can see.
You're only showing the thumbnails.
I think it's still showing the thumbnails.
It's still showing the thumbnails. What the heck? What? All right. Well, let's try this again. Is it showing now, or still the thumbnails?
Thumbnails.
Still the thumbnails.
What the heck? Okay, give me a
love the
sec.
internet.
Stop showing that. I know what I'm doing here.
These are the ears that I bought when I was there. I'm a big merch buyer. Every time I go, it's awful, but you know, it's Club 33. You have to. If you're a big Disney fan, you have to.
Why does it keep disappearing on me? Let me bring it back up.
Those are really pretty, though. I was wondering, yeah.
I know. I mean, like, they're really cool because they got like.
Okay, here we go. So there's you and Crystal Hefner.
Oh, that's actually Ashley Benson.
Nope, Ashley Benson. No,
yeah, that's Ashley Benson.
Ignore that one. Ignore that one.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah. Here's your pictures of you at Club 33.
That is
this
me
is out
outside. That is the outside terrace of Club 33. And that is inside above the chandelier. And then that little like case behind me is where you can buy the jewelry. And then there's and that's me on the stairs. Oh, no, you're good. Me on the famous blue stairs. I wanted to make sure I had a pretty royal blue dress. And I got Cinderella shoes off of the Aldo Disney 100 collection. So
wow. And I did see you did the Cinderella thing.
I had to do the Cinderella leaving my shoe.
The shoe down on the stairs, like you're running away from it and losing it. I thought that was cute.
I had to. The only place I would want to be left and found.
And then this is the menu with the Happy Birthday Shannon at the top, and it shows you the first course.
Yes, and so I will have to shout out that I am a very picky eater. So it was, my boyfriend does eat. He tries things and he is so down to try a lot of this. I ordered the beef tartare. I couldn't do it. But the steak at the end was delicious and the dessert. And then, I did try beef tartare, but I couldn't do it.
I understand. So did you have the filet mignon?
I had the filet mignon. Oh, so good.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But as you guys can see, the price there is it is $175 for a 4-course meal.
Well, it's gone up because last time Danny and I went, it was $130.
Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, oh no, it's gone up.
You're like, oh no. Wow. Okay,
Probably
great.
once a year now. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So that is the little letter, like birthday card they had on the table waiting for me. And I didn't even know if Crystal had told them it was my birthday. Like I was just asking for reservation. So I was just mind blown when all of this was happening. I was just like, wait, what? Really? Like,
that is Crystal
and I. Yes. That is Crystal and I during Christmas time. We went in December and they had a Mickey and Minnie dressed up. They did have the lighting ceremony,
the candlelight.
The candle lighting ceremony going on during that time. So I don't know if they were kind of dressed up for that, but they did have a Mickey and Minnie in Club 33 for the members to take photos with, which I thought was extra special to get a photo with them and the stairs because you don't usually get that.
Yeah, exactly. They're not always there.
And that was them inside walking around. I was like, oh my God, Mickey and Minnie in Club 33. Like, this is so cool. That was my birthday cake. And then wearing another Club 33 ears. But they had a little cute chocolate 33 happy birthday sign.
Yeah, that is really cool. I like that.
They've made, they are so beyond sweet and go above and beyond for you and so attentive. Like every cast member in Club 33, wow, thank you guys so much. So sweet. That was the duck that my boyfriend had.
How did you try the duck?
I did. It was good. But yeah, I'm not gonna. He's like, I was like, I don't want to. Because I'm like, what is that? He's like, Duck. I'm like, wait, that's Donald.
Oh no!
And I was like,
oh, terrible. And Donald's mine in theme park.
I was like, luckily there's no character that's staying, so I felt safe. Oh, and that was the bread basket. I love every detail. They knew how old I was turning, so every detail was spot
on. Oops.
They had 33 emblazoned on everything just for your birthday.
Just for me. They were like, we have to engrave it in everything just for her today. That was actually the first table I sat at in 2018.
Oh, wow.
And we sat across from it. So it was kind of fun to look back and be like, oh, that was our first table. Because that was our second time eating at the restaurant. Usually when I go with Crystal, you need a member to go into the lounge. So when I'm with her, we'll go into the lounge and we'll eat off that menu, which is a lot less pricier. And
so
it's fun. A lot of and one thing that my boyfriend loves is I didn't even notice it. All of the pictures move. So ghosts or people playing the banjo, or just characters will move from mirror to mirror throughout the whole lounge. And it's just a bunch of magic. Like it's crazy. Yeah. It's really cool.
That's cool. Well, I hear that they also have the booths are like different types of rides in the park. Is that correct as well?
I don't know about that, but like boost, like what do you mean?
Like the different areas that you sit in or different booths, like tables and whatnot. They're kind of.
Oh, I think they do get like extra perks. Yes. Yeah. Like I don't think she has to pay for Genie Plus, and then then I think for lighting, like you get like fast passes certain days, and certain, like if you want to do fireworks, you can kind of get certain like RSVP spots saved.
So obviously you've shown us your Club 33 ears, both of them, but what's some of your favorite merchandise that you've purchased since you've been multiple times?
Probably the jewelry from Club 33. I didn't wear them tonight, and I probably should have, but I did get the chandelier earrings. They're modeled after the chandelier that I was standing below inside, and it's gold with the chandelier hanging, and it is gorgeous. I love those so much. But I'm a big ear fan, so just walking through the park, I always love to look at ears. I feel like I find 10 cute ones every time I go, going, I swore I didn't need any more, but now I do. So, you know, you can't have too many ears, right? You know?
Well, no, of course not. Just ask Cordy.
My trunk is full, because I don't know what I want to wear until I get there, so I have them.
You got to coordinate with the outfits, and then
I
am a Swiftie, so shout out to all the Taylor Swifties out there. I am wearing the new cardigan, but the last ears that I did find before these, they were Cinderella, and they had a little clock on it, and it striked midnight. And if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you know what Midnights is. So that was her last album before Tortured Poets. So I was like, well, I need these. They're Taylor Swift inspired. You can always find a reason for new ears. Mm-hmm. Especially when I employee discount. So girl math, employee discount, it's like
I'm saving
free.
money.
Exactly. I'm just, it's girl math. It just works. Disney girl math.
Very, very cool. All right. And then let's see here. I had a couple other questions for you. So let's get back to, working for Disney again. So obviously you have some pretty amazing perks that you get. And I noticed that one of those perks is having the opportunity to attend a lot of movie premieres. So can you tell us about some of the movie premieres you attended and what it's like to walk that red carpet?
That I would say is my favorite park of the entire Disney experience, especially for wanting to act and be an actress. So being on the red carpet and being a part of that energy and flow and the press and the celebrities, it's just the element I thrive in, and I'm so happy to be in. So I will also say my sister will give me, a lot of props for my outfits on the red carpet. I really try to theme it out for whatever I'm going to do there. So Little Mermaid was awesome.
Yeah.
I would say Halle Bailey's dress during that. Oh my God, it was so gorgeous to see her. Melissa McCarthy. Guardians was really fun to see, like Vin Diesel. It's really just so fun to see all the actors and they're having fun. And it's really just this energy that's Crystal and I took her to the Haunted Mansion premiere. We had so much fun. Unfortunately, it literally hit the day after SAG went on strike. So that one ended up becoming a fan event instead of a premiere because of SAG going on strike. So it was a fan event, but it was so much fun. And they had dune buggies and they had catering, and it's so much fun. So no actors came to that one. But that one with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes with Greg from ABC 7 on the red carpet. Is that his name? He was so sweet. The First Omen, very scary movie with 20th. That one. So they with our perks, we do, they do like a giveaway for employees where you can, enter to go to the premieres as a guest, stay and watch. Usually as my perk, I get to volunteer and be a talent handler, which is so much fun to be able to walk the talent down the press line and take photos for them, hold their bags, do whatever they need me to do, get to talk to them. And they're always so nice. So it's really great to do all that.
That is cool. That is awesome.
It was fun for Pinocchio. I was working and like guiding the people through, and we had a carnival set up on the Disney lot, and we had churros, pretzels, ice cream, this whole thing set up. And as you walked through, you could get everything you wanted going into Pinocchio. And Tom Hanks is the last to walk through, and I'm so excited to see him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, you want anything? And he goes, I have diabetes. And I'm like, oh God. Of course, like everyone's like, you didn't know he has diabetes. I'm like, no. But, he was so sweet about it. And I was like, well, that'll always be a memory that I'll remember being like, hey, you want a churro? No, thank you.
That's funny. So you mentioned obviously, walking the red carpet and being there for the movie premieres. What are some of the other perks you get as a Disney employee?
So my second favorite, well, going to the Disney park is a dream. I try to go once a month. I do live in the Valley, so it is, a good hour, and then I work Monday through Friday. So weekends are really the only time I can go. So I try to go once a month. But the other biggest perk I would say is the discounts on the travel. I'd say cruises and going to the park, like, the Florida and the hotels. And something we got to do last summer, I got to take my dad for his 70th birthday to Aulani. He wanted to go to Hawaii with the family. And I said, well, we need to, again, I didn't know how long I was going to be with Disney at the time. So I was like, we have to use this park. I worked on American Idol for 2 years. So I was very aware of what happened at Aulani, and I, of course, was left back in the offices paying for the bills while everyone went to Aulani. So I was like, I have to go to Aulani. It's my turn. So it was my dad's 70th. We had a great week at the resort. I would highly suggest going. I'm going back this summer with Crystal. I'm so excited to take her. We're going to have so much fun. Like, we're just going to stay on the resort the whole time because you don't need to leave it. Like, it's just so much fun and beautiful and the time of your life.
And I think you mentioned to me, how much is that discount on the hotels?
You can get up to 50% off, which is why I'm like, I will keep using that as long as I can. Well, during, you gotta find the good days where it is 50. And I'm like, I will, whatever those days are. 20 there, it's usually 25, 30, 40, but I'm like, no, I need the 50. Whatever those days are, I will take those days off.
That is very cool.
And then, yes, so also working for Disney, they host a lot of parties and celebrations of just being a Disney employee on the lot. So, of course, turning 100 this year, we had a huge party on the lot, catering, character photo ops, a huge purple red carpet all around. We had these gorgeous, like Cinderella chairs and princess like setups, and it was just insane. It was so cool. Unfortunately, it was just blazing hot in the Valley, and I'm wearing black, as you can see. So by 1 p.m., a lot of us were sweating, and I can't even imagine how the characters felt. But it was a lot of fun. And then also we do a Halloween party, which Bob Iger will do a costume contest and judge. And I didn't enter. I haven't entered yet, maybe next year. But I did walk by the stage, and I was video recording Bob Iger, and he made eye contact with me, and he just kind of gave me that, like, I like your costume. And I was like, I got Bob Iger's approval. He saw me as a Disney princess.
That is awesome.
Yeah, my first year I did Cinderella, and then last year I did Sleeping Beauty. So we'll see what I do next year.
Right. I guess the only last question I have at the moment is, besides working for Disney, what are the other hobbies you have, and what do you do outside of work?
I was influencing for a while, but now it's really just hanging out with my friends. Disney, I want to give all my energy to Disney right now, and recruiting and doing all that. So I do love to just hang out with my friends and I love TV. I'm obsessed with TV shows. I'm always up on what's out and going to movies. I love going to like influencer events, and like tomorrow I'll be going to a Netflix for your consideration event. I went to a AFI showcase and met Jason Segel, which was really cool. So I love going out to events, and premieres keep me busy. And then when I'm not, I love snuggling up with my pups. I have a Chihuahua and a Yorkie, and they're the loves of my life. They're my babies. I'm a dog mom. And yeah.
Very cool.
I always think that it's fun to just, take time for yourself too and relax. I love to paint. I'm a big One Tree Hill fan. My boyfriend has a house out in North Carolina, so we go out and visit, and One Tree Hill was filmed out there. So I did a One Tree Hill convention out there.
Very cool. Well, Danny, Cordy, do you guys have any other questions for Shannon?
I'm just out of curiosity. You mentioned the little run-in with Tom Hanks. Was that your most embarrassing interaction with a celebrity, or do you have something that it's even worse than that one?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that was definitely a cringe moment. Like, okay, if it's pretty much out there that everyone knows Tom Hanks has diabetes, then yeah, that was pretty like, ooh, got to get up on my Disney actor history. But I haven't had. Probably maybe in front of the Vanderpump Rules people, because it usually involves drinking, but that's at their bars. But when I was on Big Little Lies, I am a very big advocate. I love asking for photos. When I see an actor, I'm all about asking for that photo. And so I've only been turned down a few times. Those were kind of not like embarrassing, but like, oh, really? Ouch. Okay. But nothing too embarrassing.
Okay.
Probably Tom Hanks. Yeah, that's why I remember it very well. Like,
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, hope he doesn't remember that.
That's a great memory, that's for sure.
Well, it was funny too, because I don't know if there was a show that the two Jonas brothers do on E, and it's called like Fame, and you have to guess who you're related to. And one of my friends is the niece to Tom Hanks and Rita. Is that, or what's his wife's name?
Mm-hmm. Rita.
Yeah. And so I had no idea, and I was like, oh, and so when I was at a party with her, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I offered him a churro. And I had no idea he had diabetes. It's okay. Remember? But yeah. And then she had, that was fun. You never know who you're going to run into out in Hollywood. Everyone knows everyone.
That is true. That is true. Cordy, anything for you?
No, I'm taking it all in. This is fun. Thank you for sharing with us.
We do have a question in the chat. It says, Shannon, what's your most favorite event you've ever been to?
Event for Disney premiere, I would have to say Wakanda Forever. I was so excited for Wakanda Forever. Rihanna. I saw Rihanna on the big platform taking her photos. So that was just, one of my first premieres working it. And so that was just such a huge movie. I knew everyone was really looking forward to. So that was a really great event to see Rihanna.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, Shannon is going to stay with us, but if you guys definitely want to check out Shannon, you can follow her at the Shannon Stone on Instagram. She doesn't really use her X account anymore, as she told me earlier. So
I was like, is it on Twitter anymore?
Yeah. If you definitely want to follow her, definitely follow her at the Shannon Stone on Instagram, because you can follow her and all of her escapades and all the fun that she has. Because let me tell you, when we met her, in Pirates of the Caribbean, and I looked on her Instagram page, I'm like, what the heck? This lady is like doing all these fun, cool things on the red carpet. Look at this. And I just went through the list on Instagram. I'm like, I need to ask Danny and Cordy if we can have her on the show, because this would be fun. And
Well,
I'm glad
thank
that you
you.
graciously said yes. So
This is my first podcast, so thank you guys. This is awesome.
oh, very cool. Well, we're glad that you're here. Now, Shannon's going to stay with us. We're going to talk about a few other things because we do have other topics to cover on the show. And obviously, I'm sure Shannon will, chime in when she can about a couple of these topics. But wanted to take it off to Knott's Berry Farm, because we have some updates. Because according to Knott's Berry Farm, they were supposed to open up Camp Snoopy this coming weekend for Memorial Day, and it has been postponed, unfortunately. So it appears that many of the rains that they were having obviously hindered the construction that they were doing, and so they need a little bit more time. So now it looks like they're not going to be opening up until June of 2024. So it's not that long, but they have delayed a little bit, which is unfortunate. And have you guys, Danny and Cordy, seen any of the construction going on over there and where they're at?
I haven't been to the park, but I've just kind of caught what people are posting online. Things are looking good as far as the things that are getting completed, which is great. And Knott's has been doing a fantastic job with whenever they've done the renovations in the last few years. So I'm sure it's going to be good. And I think it's simply just the rain that we've had this last winter. It was just, it set back several things, even at Disneyland. I know Astro Orbiter was pushed back a couple of weeks from opening because I was doing that for March Madness, and I was supposed to have that last week to try to get on it, and it never opened. So I think it's just a matter of things out of their control. I don't think there's any real issues there other than that.
Yeah, exactly. Cordy, have you been over there recently?
I have not. It's been a while.
Yeah. So
Summer nights.
my family and I were
coming up.
Yeah, summer. Oh, that's coming up. Yeah, definitely.
Kicks off this weekend, pretty much.
I know, crazy. Well, June 2nd is, I think, when it actually kicks off.
They've got a lot of the bands are starting up this weekend though. So
right.
Thomasina, Hiatus, 90s Rock Show. A lot of the bands that we loved last year are back, and this weekend there's a lot of them playing. So I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to get out there, but I'm hoping that maybe if I can get there on Memorial Day, I may go check out some of the bands.
Right. And Shannon, I think you'd said you haven't been to Knott's Berry Farm a long time, have you?
I haven't been to Knott's Berry Farm since Elvira did her last performance for Knott's Scary Farm, which was, I think, 7 years ago, almost. It was for my best friend's bachelor and bachelorette party. They wanted to go there, and Elvira was performing, and it was so cool. But I have not been there in a while. I need to go. And I'll take all your recommendations. I'll go with you guys.
Well, I will tell you, it is cool because Summer Nights is great. Not only do they have a lot of live entertainment, and I can tell you, if you go back and watch some of the stuff that Theme Park Casual did last year, he was running from band to band to band to cover them, and sometimes showing some of the bands twice because that 90s band just seemed to be one of the ones that was just off the hook and a lot of fun. Of course, Jelly Month Club, but they were called Mike Dangerously. That is a great group. You can see them as well. Of course, you got Crazy Kirk and the Hillbillies, which is a lot of fun to watch. Then they got all this amazing food. And at the same time, you've got Ghost Town Alive, which is where they actually have actors who are playing certain parts and roles in Ghost Town as if it was alive and well today. And they're all celebrating Founders Day. Every day they celebrate Founders Day at 4:30 p.m., which is a lot of fun. So it's definitely something you guys need to check out. We'll be covering that probably in the next podcast that we have here because it's going to be starting up real soon. But Summer Nights is definitely off the hook and definitely one place that you guys should definitely go see. And then also, let's see, at Knott's Berry Farm. So this is interesting. I had the opportunity to meet a couple of employees. I was going to say cast members. That's Disneyland. Employees from Knott's Berry Farm. And they were telling me that last week, apparently Cedar Fair's had made an announcement to the employees regarding the fact that Six Flags is still merging with Cedar Fair. They said that more was to come and that they would be notifying employees what's happening. But at this time, they didn't have any more information, but it's still happening sometime this year. So just wanted to share that with all of you because I thought that was kind of interesting that, we haven't heard anything in a while. When we all kind of thought that maybe by the first quarter of this year, they would actually be announcing something regarding the merger between Cedar Fairs and Six Flags Magic Mountain, but nothing has come up. So when I got that information, I was like, oh, interesting. All right. You have anything else for me? But no, that's basically it. So it's still going to happen this year. Supposedly, I'm sure we'll get more information once they do release it, but that is coming down the pipeline. And they just, made an announcement to the employees. So I thought that was interesting. And I wanted to bring it up to all of you. And
you had some information on Montezuma as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so apparently it looks like they have the loop up right now. And the other thing was, and I forgot, I apologize. I took pictures of it from a distance and I didn't show it, but Montezuma's track is actually over in the north parking lot for Knott's Berry Farm. It's the one that's on the grass and they hardly ever use unless it's, overflow parking. But they do have the rest of the track there, but they just put up the loop. It hasn't been repainted, but it's nice to see that the loop is back up because that's been gone for a long time. Most of the track has been gone for a long time. So that was really cool as well. So, yes. Let's see here. So, sorry, I was just going back through my topics of other things that we are going to cover for tonight. Let's see. And then obviously we have Fantasmic that is coming back this week. I think all of us are excited that Fantasmic is coming back. It's been gone for a long time. I will tell you though, I'm bummed because I love the Mark Twain. I love Riding at Night. And if you guys were watching my live stream last night, that's the first thing I did. I went straight over there after I covered the Main Street Windows in May, and I went on Mark Twain at Night, and it was so nice and beautiful to ride in the twilight as the sun was going down. So if you haven't gotten the chance to ride it, you only have a few more days before Fantasmic comes back, and they no longer let you ride the Mark Twain at night. But since Fantasmic's coming back, I know that Cordy wanted to talk to us and to cover some of the things that they're going to be doing, like the dining plans for Fantasmic.
Yes. So, and I know, it's coming Friday, so they kind of released them in stages, I guess, right? First was Blue Bayou, and then I don't know how many weeks. It was a few weeks before Riverbell Terrace was released, and then I think it might have just been a week or two for Rancho del Zocalo. So one of the big changes is last year we had Hungry Bear was one of the options. And I was thinking about that. I thought because of all the construction going on right over there in Critter Country, that maybe they were going to move it because they don't need all that traffic going through there right now. So Rancho del Zocalo is the option right now. Are you going to pull that up, or do you want me to?
Oh, let me see here. Is it showing?
See if I can see. Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's Disney World. I think
that's Disney World. Sorry. Huh. What do you know?
Come on, Bob.
Hold on.
Type in Disneyland Fantasmic, or do you want me to just share?
So can I ask, were any of you guys there when the incident happened?
I missed it by one day, and it's funny because I was there the night before, and everything was going weird that night. It was like Galaxy's Edge lost power. Things were just out of whack everywhere, it seemed like that. And I even made the comment, I said, what's going to happen is like the Matterhorn going to burst into flames, and is, Fantasmic going to do something. And so I was like, well, we got to go see what's going to happen at Fantasmic. And nothing happened that night. Next night, Dragon goes up in flames.
God, yeah. When I saw that on TikTok, I was like, is this real?
Yeah. As people were reposting it today on Instagram, and I was just like, man, that must have been something to be there.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Crazy. Yeah. But I mean, we all got to see the video of it later on, unfortunately. What's sad though is I really loved having the dragon at the end, especially, breathing fire. And of course, we know the dragon's name is Murphy. Well, it's sad that Murphy's not coming back. I mean, hopefully Murphy will come back in some iteration, maybe not the same way, but it's got to come back some way.
Holographic version, whatever, AI him in.
Everybody put on your AR goggles.
Are you trying to tell us something there, Shannon Stone?
I know. I was like, ideas. Why not?
So did you want to, it covers the Blue You restaurant first.
You want me to go ahead and do it, or do you want to do it?
Yeah. Oh, am I sharing it? I thought I was sharing. Oh, no, you go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I'm just bringing up the page.
Okay, thank you. Because and then I'll share, because I have the how to make a reservation, because I know that's been a question that I've heard a lot.
Yes.
So. So yeah, Blue Bayou, of course, is one of, I guess it would be considered the top tier, right? Even though they have a package, they have, I forget, let me see, premium package. So they have the premium package both at Blue Bayou and Riverbell Terrace. So here, you get your 4-course lunch or dinner, and then you're given a ticket or a voucher to go back to your viewing spot, which Blue Bayou typically has that center spot, so you kind of get the straight on view. And then, so there's your options there, right? It's Blue Bayou meal.
Well, surf and turf, Oscar.
Their gumbo is so good.
Gumbo, oh, I know, isn't it?
I dream of that gumbo.
Shrimp. Well, the good news is you can get it outside of Blue Bayou. Oh, did I say
in
that?
A bread bowl and a bread bowl.
Now you get to eat in Blue Bayou. It's not like they hand you a box and you go sit and wait for Fantasmic.
Not there. Rancho Bay, we'll get to that one, because there is a restaurant that actually will do that, and which was cool. I did that at Hungry Bear the very first night that Fantasmic came back. So, a lot of people took it to go, and then it was a little tricky that one night. So they have it's $89 and then $35 for kids 3 to 9. Plus tax and gratuity. When you do this particular package, you have to cancel 24 hours before if you're not going to be able to make it. Otherwise, they charge $10 per person. So however many people you reserved it for, you'll be charged that $10 per person. And then Riverbell Terrace, they also have a premium package. And there's very specific times. I think it's you have to pick like the 7:30 p.m., I believe. And those go really quick. And that particular one, you actually get to sit at a table during the show at Riverbell Terrace. The other ones are, they have brunch and lunch and dinner, and kind of the same deal. You'll get a ticket or a voucher, and then you'll find your spot. So you kind of have to line up so that, if you want to, depending on the spot that you want, because you are sitting on the ground, kind of.
Do they still give the cushion? Do you know? Does it say anything about that?
No, and I heard they're not allowing you to bring cushions. A couple people tried to bring some in a couple weeks ago, and they asked them to take it back to their car. They weren't allowed.
No, even BYOC? Bring your own cushion?
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That seems like that's almost...
And they were the ones that were a part of, you know what I mean? They were the Disney ones, the ones that...
Wow.
That seems weird, because I mean, if you just want a cushion so that when you're, having your lunch, regardless, if it's waiting for Fantasmic, it was like, what, your chairs are not the most comfortable things. I'd like to have something to.
Well, not just that, but if you have to sit on the ground, my bottom and the ground do not go well together.
Well, Alan Smithy has the right answer right there. What if you sew a cushion into your shorts?
That's the adults need cushions.
They'll scan you.
That is funny. Nice, Alan. I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
Too funny. Well, it looks like we have 2 different packages though for the Riverbell Terrace.
This
is the premium package.
So the premium is that's going to be part of the. If you're sitting at the table during the show, and then it's the 3-course dinner.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The premium package gets you the table seating for the show.
See, you don't need a cushion.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever been there during Fantasmic at the Riverbell, sitting on the edge right there?
Not during Fantasmic, which I think would be great.
Yeah.
I'm curious though, because that's right where the walkway is. So there's going to be people constantly moving in front of you. I'm curious how far, how high above everybody are you at that point?
Well, way back in the day, we sat at like stage door cafe area, which is right there, right next to it. Me and my daughter would watch it from there all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I've never seen it from there, and like I said, I'm just thinking that the
But it's
pedestrian
true.
traffic might
Yeah.
get annoying. But if you're high enough above it to where you're looking, you know, over everybody's heads, then it probably wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, and I think if you're eating a meal and it's kind of more that experience, right? Instead of
Right.
being in with the crowds, you're kind of
Yeah,
enjoying
that would be probably worth the $89.
it.
Yeah. Well, you can always stand on the table. I'm kidding.
Oh gosh, yeah, don't put it past them. But yeah, we're gonna do brunch, I believe. So the brunch is $55.
Yeah.
And there's your food options, and then dinner's also $55. But of course, it's not the table, right? Not the table side viewing.
So
and
you're just
then-
sitting on the ground, correct? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So same thing. We're gonna get a voucher ticket to go line up and find a spot in a specific section. And then Rancho del Zocalo is the most recent one that they added. And this one, it is more of a to go. I mean, you could eat it there, but from what I read, I believe they put it in a to go kind of box container,
Yeah.
like they did at Hungry Bear. And this one is $35. And there are a lot more reservations available. So this is probably your best bet if you're, you know, not planning 2 months in advance, right? Like people do for dining reservations.
What's the seating area for these locations? Do we know?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
No, we you can safely assume Blue Bayou is front and center, and then there's they've got slight wings just flanking that. That would be the two other
think-
restaurants. Probably
Hungry Bear was to the left
right.
last year, and then River Bell's to the right of the Blue Bayou area, right?
Yeah.
So you're
How much was the standard River Bell? Was that same as
55.
Zocalo?
55. So it's a little
Okay,
bit
so they
more.
may have 3 sections now since there's the different pricing tiers.
Mhm.
So it may be that
Mhm.
you know as you go further, you know the first section outside of Blue Bayou is going to be River Bell's section, and then further to the side would be Zocalo.
Yeah, and here's the cancellation policy you were talking about, Cordy. So, and it looks like, just 2 hours prior for Rancho del Zocalo for the standard package. But, you know, what does it say here? It looks like you should be able to click on these, but you can't.
If I can share real quick, because I just wanted to show everybody, because something that I found, you know, this happens a lot with, you know, just trying to navigate things, the app, or, you know, just trying to find things right for after dark events and everything. So I didn't even bother with the app. Like I tried and I'm like, I just can't, it wasn't working for me, and I'm not sharing it. Am I sharing?
There we go.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So I just typed in, like I said, you know, just type in Disneyland Fantasmic dining packages, and then it brings you here. So as you can see, I mean, this is June 13th, but you can go back. Let's see if this takes me back. Sure.
Yeah, when I was checking Zocalo, it like wouldn't even give me a choice of to which show I wanted to see.
Oh, yeah,
So I don't know if that one it was sold out and you can only get second show, or they were pushing people to second show without, you know.
Let's just do this one more time. See, it once you click on something, sometimes it takes you way out of there, and I'm like, oh gosh, get me back to wait, where was I? Let me go back, because I was there. Got one more. Oh,
Oh, so right there you could check. You could click on the date on that one where there was.
so this one, yeah, because that was the only one that had one. Yeah, let me go back.
It won't even let you. Geez, see, yeah.
That's what's, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me try one more time. Fantastic.
Disney IT.
knowing the app and the website is like key to Disneyland right now, because
Yeah.
I've taken so many friends and they're like, thank God I have you. What has happened? And I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's changed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. It should just be in my history, but you're like, it won't take me back to. Let's see if this takes me. Oh, see. Oh my goodness. Well, I wanted to share. Maybe I'll have to do like a. Fantasmic. Oh goodness. They really kicked me out of the loop there.
Fine,
Okay,
then. I don't want to make a dining reservation.
I know. Forget it. Well, here's what Rancho del Zocalo looks like. So this is June 13th, and there's actually a River Bell available as well. So once you click here, and then it'll give you all your times. And then, of course, right, it'll ask you if you have accessibility requests or dietary. Let's see. And then next should be, yeah. So there we go. And then that's where you reserve it. And for Rancho, it's, and they're holding for 9 minutes. You have that's a 2-hour cancellation for Rancho del Zocalo, which is kind of nice. It's, you know, the most casual dining. Yeah, I don't think I can click on here. Let's see if this takes us. Never mind. It's not going to take me there. Dining events? But then I think it took me to everything, right? Better Together.
Right.
Orleans. Oh, here we go. All right, here's the page. So, oh. No. Well, anyways, normally if you type in Disneyland Fantasmic dining packages, it'll take you to a calendar. Let's see. Nope. And you're able to like search by date. And then it'll show you what's available as far as like what dining packages. If nothing, it'll just tell you, you know, there's nothing available. So I just recommend that you keep checking. It's kind of like what we do with our reservations. You just have to keep checking. And
yeah, especially if you're trying to get something like Blue Bayou, or possibly I would think the River Bell Premium, especially with Blue Bayou, since it's a 24-hour cancellation. If you've had trouble and you haven't been able to get one the day before, just get on the app and keep refreshing. And it's the same thing like when we try to get our reservations. You got, you know, it'll pop up for like a couple of minutes, somebody will snag it and it's gone. So if you can grab it. But yeah, definitely just be refreshing the app.
If it makes you guys feel any better, it's been like that for us employees, because they do make us reserve a spot and it's been cutthroat, you know? It's like, if you don't refresh and keep looking, it's been really hard to get those days. And you have to, they open up 60 days in advance for us. So yeah, if you're not, I was just refreshing. Gotta get this day. I have to go this weekend. It's a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I think it's a great way. I think, especially the first weekend. And, but to be honest, just like we know with all the other shows, right? World of Color too, if you catch the second show, you have a much better chance of finding a spot. So
yeah, once we get into the summer and it's Fantasmic's running nightly, my recommendation is if you can stay for the second show, stay for the second show. And if you really want to be down toward the front, but don't want to spend the money on a dining package, hang out over on the Tiana's Palace side, because once it gets close to showtime, if there's room, they'll open it up and let people go down in there. So it's a gamble, obviously. You know, there's no guarantee that they're going to have room on any given night. But before Fantasmic went dark, it was happening regularly. Second show, they would open it up for people to get down toward the front. You're obviously not going to get front row center kind of thing, but you can definitely get closer and not have, some of the trees or, things in the way if you want to take pictures and footage.
Yeah, because they'll fill you in. Like if they've only sold so many dining packages and there's openings, not so much for the Blue Bayou section, but
Right.
I know
Yeah,
for,
that's why I say you're not going to get front row center.
But at least you can get into one of those viewing areas. But
Yeah.
I mean, we don't give too many secrets away, but we know up top pretty darn good too.
Yeah. So I probably won't be doing the dining package right away. I don't know about you, Danny. Are you going to be doing it?
No, I'm planning to be there Friday, not streaming, just hanging out with my son to see the show. We're going to probably do second show and try to get a decent spot for that one. But then I'll be back on Saturday, probably live streaming, and I don't plan to do the dining package. And it's going to be more of that, let's see what we can do without a dining package and try to get some intel for everybody on that one and see, if the previous tactics are still working. It's going to be tough though, because you got to remember, this is all of a sudden you've got another 8,000 people in Disneyland that are going to suddenly be moving in different directions. So it's going to be, please, everybody, if you're going this weekend, please give the cast members grace. Follow what they're asking you to do. They're trying to make everybody move in the quickest way possible. And, they're doing it for a reason. And if you're going upstream, you're causing problems for not only yourself, but everybody around you, including the cast members, when you're not, simply following where they're asking you to go. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, please give all the cast members grace. I'm going into it with that mentality of it's going to be crazy. There's going to be people that are upset. There's going to be cast members that are frazzled and asking their supervisors, where do you want me to send these people? What are we doing? Where are we? So hopefully it goes smooth. And like I said, I'm going to see if on Friday and Saturday, if previous tactics work for getting a decent spot for a second show.
I will be there Saturday during the day. So I'm not staying for night because I will be going to the Lion King Hollywood Bowl performance. They're doing a Disney Plus. Yes. So if people want to go to that, that's fun too. But it will be, on Disney Plus after. But yeah, I will be at Disneyland in the morning and then rushing to the Hollywood Bowl for the Lion King live performance. I think it's Jennifer Hudson is the main lead. So it should be fun.
Wow.
But I will be watching and seeing what your Fantasmic life is like on Saturday. But hopefully I'll be able to see you maybe Saturday morning if you're there.
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm planning to watch Fantasmic on Friday and then get home and hopefully be back in time for close to rope drop.
Perfect.
And then just spend the day hanging out at Disneyland.
Well, I will see you Saturday.
Yeah. And then, Cordy, are you going to be there on Friday for the premiere?
Yes, I will be there Friday.
Very cool. Are you doing the dining package?
Yes, we're doing River Bell standard.
Gotcha.
Package.
All right. I can't wait to see what you think of that.
Bob,
I had a reservation for Friday, but my family and I planned a vacation, and now we're leaving on Thursday, so I can't go. But that's okay, because family vacation is way more important, all right, than Fantasmic. Sorry, did I just say
there will
that?
always be a Fantasmic.
Yeah,
exactly. Look, it'll be there next week when I go back, so it's not a big deal to me. But there'll be plenty of people there streaming and covering it over the weekend. So definitely check out Cordy and Theme Park Casual streams. I'm sure they're going to be amazing and great, and looking forward to seeing what you guys are covering and what the crowds are going to be like, because I think it's going to be really kind of busy and crazy, because one, it's Memorial Day weekend, but then two, you got Fantasmic coming back. So, and given the fact that now Knott's Berry Farm is not opening up Camp Snoopy, there's probably even more people who are going to go to Camp Snoopy now going to go to Disneyland if they can get reservations, obviously. So it should be really cool and a lot of fun. I'm excited that Fantasmic's coming back, and I'm sure that all of you are excited that it's coming back as well. So very, very cool.
Oh, and by the way, Peter Pan segment is coming back in instead of the Pirates of the Caribbean segment. So I'm very, very happy about that.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very cool. So I'm happy about that too. Okay, so with that, you know what? I apologize. I had the permit stuff up, and unfortunately, for some reason it got closed, and I can't seem to bring it up, and I don't know what's going on with the site. So we'll cover permit stuff later. Nothing really was brand new or interesting, I thought, for this week's coverage. Anyhow, I was just going to cover a few things. It does seem like they're replacing a lot of light poles right now. I wonder why. At Disneyland, so all over the place, they are doing a lot of upgrades and improvements. And I saw some things for Tiana's Bayou Adventure as well as the Haunted Mansion. Looks like they're doing a lot of plumbing and rerouting of the plumbing and some electrical work going on. So they're definitely working on that. And so next time we have our park streamers hang out, I'll probably have the permit stuff to go over with all of you guys. So there we go for that.
Cali Bay, I know he caught the water and actually one of the flumes coming down.
Yeah, he was waiting for it. He was there earlier in the day, and he's like, "Oh, should we wait? Should we wait?"
Well, we saw water. You know what? We didn't even think about it. So we were on the Mark Twain, and so Winks and I were, we were actually looking at the Columbia to try and find the Pizza Planet truck, and then we went by and he's like, "Look, there's water." So I think that was the same night, because the next day is when I saw.
Yeah, I think he was there, and at one point he was like, he was watching, where you can kind of lean over and see the turn after the drop, and the water was flowing backwards. So I don't know if that's how they fill the flume, and that's how it flows that direction when they start the water or what. But yeah, he noticed that, and that's why he was hanging out there for a while. And then I had to go, but then I saw later that he actually caught the logs being tested down the drop.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know when I was on the Mark Twain last night, I was like looking at, oh, nope, there's just water on the bottom of the cement there. Okay, good. But yeah, I'm sure that we'll catch some more of that soon. Although it is going to be interesting to see, what happens, because now Tiana's Bayou Adventure has been announced at Walt Disney World, and June 28th is the grand opening for that ride. So I know a lot of people are excited about that. Are any of you planning on going to Walt Disney World for the grand opening?
I am not.
Hi.
It is
Shannon?
on my bucket list. It is one thing I need to go out and do. I need to go out in Florida. My dad used to work for Disney before he retired, and so now I'm carrying on the family tradition. And he's like, "You got to go to Florida," and I'm like, "Yeah, but when Alani."
Hawaii.
It's like
Florida.
I feel like I would need a vacation after Florida. Not that it wouldn't be fun. I'd be like, it would just be so much fun and going and eating and drinking and rides and lands that I'd be like, now I need to fly to Alani for a vacation after that. So Florida is on my bucket list. I just wanted to get Hawaii off one more time.
Yep. Very good.
But I can't wait until it opens up at the Orange County one, because I will be there for that. Even though,
rumor,
RIP to Splash.
I know. Splash is a big, part in our hearts.
Childhood.
Yeah. Well, and it's rumored that it's going to be opening in November. What do you guys think about that? Do you actually think it's going to open in November, or do you think it's going to be postponed? I know what I think, but I'm going to want to hear from you guys.
I'm going to say I hope they do, because if the Florida one's opening soon, they're going to want to follow suit. And with the expansion news, I think that they're going to want to get some excitement and traction going. So I'm going to manifest that, yes, it will.
I'm with you. Yeah, I think I have faith in them to get it done, because we've got to get our Haunted Mansion back. And
yes, that too. I was like, I'm not even going to mention that, but that will, Tiana's will open.
Yeah.
I think we're all waiting for that to open too. Can't wait for Haunted Mansion. Danny, what do you think?
Based on the intel that you had last time we talked, I'm going to say they're still shooting for it. I think they can pull it off, but I think it's going to depend on what they find as they try to get some things back up to code, if that is the case, based on, the rumor that we've heard. If things, I'm curious, because if Florida does not have the warmest reception to this, they could have to possibly delay and retool Disneyland's version if there is any issues. Because if they start finding that, you know what, we are having a, you know, unexpected reception toward this attraction, then they may have to rethink some things. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. There's just that possibility.
I feel like it's such a different set of like guests. I don't know. It's a different. It's just different.
Right. Yeah,
like,
but there. I mean, Splash is Splash, and it's got this weird thing about it. So I'm hoping that cooler heads prevail, and like I said, I hope that they're able to hit the November date. There really is no date. I think everybody's just speculating. What was it? November 3rd would be the exact same number of days it took for Florida. So that's where the November came from. So,
well, where do I start? So I have had the privilege of kind of getting some inside information, and so I know a little more than I'm not going to tell, but I will tell you that it's really interesting to hear what's happening over Walt Disney World, what the storyline is like, what the end of the ride might be like, what's happening inside. So there's a couple of reasons why I'm going to say what I'm about ready to say, and that is, so if things don't go well, where people aren't really receptive to the ride, then I think Danny's correct that it could postpone the ride into the next year because they may try to make some changes. Now, the ride layout is totally different for Walt Disney World than it is for Disneyland. However, they're also having a lot of problems with the one that Disneyland because electrical issues, plumbing issues, the smell that's coming from the briar patch, and obviously some of the things are having to change and whatnot. The information I'm hearing from my contacts from the berry patch is that things aren't going so well. It's taking a lot longer than they expected, and that they're hopeful that it'll be November, but it could be a little bit later. If they are on track, but it's not receptive in Florida, then they could possibly. My feeling is they'll probably try to postpone it into the first of the year. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but riding, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, that water ride in November, well, it could be pretty warm still here in California, but
nice.
still,
you never know anymore.
Like
you never know,
November.
right? But I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. So my feeling is that they may try to postpone it, but I don't know that for sure. But I do know some of the other stuff, but I can't share, and I hope that I can share it with you guys soon, because I have gotten quite a bit of information from my contacts regarding what's happening inside the ride and what's going on, the story, et cetera, et cetera. And it's very, very interesting, and we'll see how it is received next month on June 28th. So there we go.
But as you said,
that's all I'm
if
saying.
It does open in November or January, the line could be shorter if it's winter
maybe
in California. So
yep,
could be a good thing. You always the
exactly.
positive side of it. Shorter
exactly.
lines.
All right. Well, with that, we do have one other thing to talk about tonight, and that is Disneyland Forward. So we have been waiting to see what was going to happen. Now, last month, they did vote on the Anaheim City Council to preliminarily approve Disneyland Forward. So we all thought that it was going to get approved. And literally the day after our last podcast, it did get approved. I'm going to bring up the website so you guys can see this real quick. Because we do have, there we go. That's not it. Give me 1 second here. So on the main site for Disneyland Forward, it says Anaheim City Council unanimously voted to approve Disneyland Forward. And it says that you can actually click on more here and it will take you to Disneyland Forward approved. Now it says, and it shows obviously, kind of what they're planning. And they said, we're thrilled to announce on May 7th, the Anaheim City Council unanimously voted to approve the final components of Disneyland Forward. Now, there is a lot that's going to be happening because even though they have approved this, I mean, this plan is over the next 20 to 40 years. So obviously some of the things we're going to see right away, which Avatar Land is apparently the first big new thing that's coming out. And that will be obviously hitting. Now, one of the things I want to show you real quick, and I'm going to stop sharing this screen. We'll come back to it. But one of our friends of the channel, Theme Park Wizard, actually posted this on Twitter, and I'm going to share it with you guys so you can see, because some things have changed on the website quite a bit. So in 2023, he says, Disneyland Forward site has been updated with some different wording. So in 2023, this is what the website said. It said Disneyland's newest lands and attractions with Disneyland Forward and an updated approach. These exciting new lands and attractions coming to Tokyo Disney Sea could be the perfect inspiration for the future of Disneyland Park. And then right after the preliminary vote, it switched to this. And it said, with our updated approvals, Disney California Adventure Park could be home to some of Disney's most technologically advanced, immersive, and cutting-edge entertainment, taking cues from these exciting lands and attractions around the globe for inspiration for future of Disneyland Park. Now, the most interesting thing is he posted this. Let's see. When did he post
That's a
it?
very weird way for that to be worded, because it starts with Disney California Adventure, but in the same breath, they're saying Disneyland Park.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, right? But now let's go back to that website again and see what they're actually saying, because it's been changed again. Now, he just posted that on the 17th.
Just a couple of days. Yeah,
just a few days ago, right? So this is what it says now. Let me bring that back up. I just thought it was really interesting that it's changed again. And if you click on, let's see here. Oops, is it down this? Nope, it's not this. Let me click on projects and possibilities. And now Disneyland's newest lands and attractions with Disneyland Forward approved and an updated approach. These exciting new lands and attractions coming to Tokyo Disney Sea could be the perfect inspiration for the future of Disneyland Resort. So they've gone back to what they said before. So I don't know why, but the website has changed back to almost what it said before. It just now includes that Disneyland Forward was approved. So the great thing is this
time it says Disneyland Resort. Before it said Disneyland Park. So
that is true.
Yeah, again, they're using the umbrella term for the resort now. So
right. And we've all seen what's happening over there in Tokyo. I mean, we kind of showed it on the last Park Streamers Hangout with Tangled and Peter Pan and what it looks like. Obviously, really amazing. They've been doing a lot of posts on Instagram lately, showing all the different lands. Of course, you've got Frozen and Zootopia over in China. We got Toy Story. Hey, who doesn't want Tron? I want Tron. What about you guys? I want Tron. Yeah, see, Shannon, even Shannon wants it. There you go. But then here we go, the possibilities map and legend. Now, if you recall, they did buy 3 streets. So they actually bought Magic Way right here. They also bought Disneyland Drive, or they're buying it. And then they're also buying Clementine Street, which is right down here. So those 3 streets are the ones that they're actually buying. They're going to close off the street here and here for Disneyland Drive, and they're going to close off Magic Way here. So unfortunately, the residents will have to drive around to get to the freeway. And they also have bought this street for Clementine Street because they're going to build a proposed parking structure in this area. And like I said before, Disney is in talks to buy out the property where Garden Walk is right now. So obviously that would bode well if they could take over Clementine Street, and it could lead into their other possible downtown Disney area. But of course, this is the area that they're talking about expanding first, which is on the other side of Disneyland and California Adventure, and it's on the other side of the Disneyland Drive. So everyone's been speculating where Avatar Land is going to go. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to go here. I mean, you see a lot of water in this area. I think that they might be putting it here. Who knows? Maybe they won't. But I honestly think that this is probably the prime area where the Simba parking lot is for Avatar Land. What do you guys think?
I agree. Where the hotels are, like in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over. That's my thoughts as well.
I feel like they've been thinking about this for so long. They know, it's like an Easter egg of how do we figure it out?
Well, I think so too. I think that remember when they said, "Oh, we're going to have an Avatar experience," and I was like, well, "What do you mean Avatar experience?" And then when the preliminary vote happened, they said land, and it was like, "What do you mean land?" And then all of a sudden, it's been Avatar Land lately. So even since they approved it, so it kind of makes me think that if they didn't get approved, they were going to try to do some sort of experience who knows where that would have been. And now that's been approved, they're actually going to try to do a land. And obviously, the hotels are right in the center of these areas right here. So that would, obviously, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm sure they would work around the two. I mean, obviously the rumor was that, Disney California Adventure was going to continue over to Simba parking lot. And then of course, Disneyland would connect and continue over to the Stitch parking lot for downtown Disney. But again, we don't know yet. They haven't said anything. It's all just kind of speculation, but it is kind of cool that it finally got approved because, as you know, we've been covering Disneyland Forward for a long, long time. And Danny and I got the opportunity to go to one of the, events at the park to talk to some of the cast members. And then we also got to go to an actual event last year in May regarding Disneyland Forward, and we got to hear from Ken Potrock and what he thought and what he was hoping to do and achieve. And one of the other things he talked to us a year ago was, hey, let's have a new ride over at DCA, and we should put it over there and make it the Avengers ride. And so we really haven't heard a lot about that in the last year, obviously, but hopefully that's still in the works and going to be made as well.
What was your take of, what do you think of Tower of Terror versus Guardians ride? That's a big question. I know. Sorry. I know. I had to slide that in there.
Let's hear from Danny and Cordy and see what they say before I give my opinion.
Cordy, would you like to go first?
I didn't mean to put you guys on the spot.
This isn't the spot. This is right in our wheelhouse.
Yeah. It's a tough one because I love Guardians. I love the movies. I love it all. So it's I really enjoy the attraction as it is now, but there's so much nostalgia, especially attached to Tower of Terror. So, and I know, my kids, they grew up with Tower, so it was that's what they love. So, but I have so much fun on it now. But I'm the worst.
I don't come off that ride without the biggest smile on my face.
Right?
That was so much fun. But I am a horror girl, so Tower of Terror is so creepy and amazing.
Yeah.
So it is and maybe that's what Tiana's will be like. It'll be very bittersweet that it's not Splash Mountain, but it could be extra fun and we still have that drop. So it's just a new 2024 experience that, we have the memories and hopefully it'll still be fun like Guardians.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Tiana's is going to be fun. I mean, a log flume is a log flume ride. So you're going to have fun with that. There's still going to be the drop. You're still going to get the splash at the end and everything. For me, I don't like when they take a ride system and kind of shoehorn in an IP or a different attraction, a new storyline. It's most of the time the Imagineers have developed these things so tight that they're every little part of the attraction, especially with something like Tower of Terror. I consider Tower of Terror possibly top 3, at the very least top 5 all-time attractions. The one in Florida is beyond anything. I always say that, like Splash Mountain, it's a shame that there's the drop because so many people miss out on an incredible attraction just because of the drop.
It took me till I was in 8th grade.
Right. See, so
scared,
that's my issue that I have with that's one of my issues with Tiana, because it's like
the little kids,
the little kid. It's like I just saw a video today of a little guy who wanted to his favorite movie was Marvel or something like that. So he was so excited to try to go on Guardians of the Galaxy, but he was too short. Yeah. And so they filmed him, after, time after time, and he's getting taller. And then, he finally is tall enough. So is that going to be the kind of thing that happens with Tiana? You're going to have all these little girls and boys who want to go on the Tiana ride, but they're too short. And then you have these grandparents who would love to take their child on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but because of the drop and the forces of the ride, they can't go on it. Mm-hmm. That's why to me it's Tiana should have been a ride that the entire family, much like It's a Small World or Storybook Lake, should have been a fantastic ride for the entire family to share together. So,
well, I did see a very funny TikTok of someone in line who videoed a family in front of them who put like big shoes on their kids so that they could go on the ride. And I was like, yeah, no, it full on platforms, like Spice Girl style, like that. And she couldn't even walk. Like she was like all just so they could get her on. I think it was Soaring Over California. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
I mean, it was just them recording her throughout the line, stumbling and trying not to let the employees see. And kids, you know, they'll go to any length sometimes.
Yeah, I took my nephew on when he was, I think, only like 5, 6 years old at the most. I think he was probably 5, maybe even younger. But he was just this little guy, and everybody was side-eyeing me going on Tower of Terror. And the poor little guy, terrified once the thing gets moving, and his little leg was shaking the whole time, and he's gripping my arm. And everybody's just like, you know, looking at me like I'm the worst person in the world. And as soon as it pulls in, stops, lights go on, you hear him shout, "Let's go again!" And the whole place just started cracking up. And it's like, you just never know with the kids.
And you're like, phew.
Oh. Exactly. I was like, yeah, oh good. I didn't scar him for life.
I mean, I get scared before the rides, and then I get off and I'm like, let's do it again. I don't know what I'm scared for. But I love that anticipation. Like, and it kind of brings back that childhood memory of, you know, being scared before the drop. And I mean, like, even when my dad goes on Guardians or Tower of Terror with me, it's like we still get that stomach, like, wait, do we make a mistake? Do we want to do this? And then we go on and we have the best time. So I feel like no matter what age you are, it's fun to kind of have that little fear.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you that, you know, Tower of Terror was my daughter's favorite ride over at DCA for many, many years. And then when they changed it to Guardians, she was kind of like, why are they changing it to Guardians, you know? And obviously she loves that ride. It's one of her favorite rides. And I love it too. I think one of the nice things that even though it's not Tower of Terror, you have a fun, you know, ride with a great soundtrack that gets people,
makes it.
You know, the music gets flowing, you get excited, you're having fun with everyone's laughing and giggling, and sometimes people are singing the songs, and then you're watching the movie and what's happening, and sometimes you see new scenes, and you know, sometimes the same ones, but still it's fun to watch, and it's fun to be a part of. Now I will say I do miss Tower of Terror, but I don't miss it so much now because I went to Disneyland Paris last year. When I got to go to Disneyland Paris, they actually explain a little more about the story, you know, the backstory for Tower of Terror and what's happening, what's going on, which I thought was kind of cool. So to me, I was kind of like, man, our Tower of Terror is gone. I'm kind of bummed about it. But at the same time, now I know that there's a better version over in Paris. I was kind of like, oh, well, that's cool. They still have it. You know, and we have Guardians, which is cool. So don't get me wrong. I love Guardians, and I really do miss Tower of Terror, but Guardians is cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I always come off having, like, you know, it gives you an energizer boost. It's like, oh my God, that was so much fun. The music, the power, like the adrenaline, let's go again. So it's definitely one of those you come off of and you're like, let's go. Next ride. What are we doing? Like, so
yeah, exactly.
Even if people are scared, I'm like, just push them on it because they'll be so excited when they're done.
We'll have to get Winks on there.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, he's got to write it because remember he just hit 1,000 subs, so Winks has to write it, and I think he's planning on writing it this weekend, like Friday or Saturday or something. So
I want to be there. I want to be there when you write
Saturday. If he's doing it in the morning, I'm there.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Well, so I'm
there with
Winks
him
here tonight.
Should we go live?
I haven't seen him.
Yeah. I don't see Winks in here either. He might be streaming tonight, but we'll have to contact him and let him know. Hey,
yeah, he's got to let us know when he's going at the very least, if nothing else, so that we can watch.
Aldun's
I think he said Friday. Yeah, I thought he said Friday to last night when we were all together. So
he was trying to find loopholes, though.
Well, you know what? Well, hey, maybe we convince him to wait till Saturday, and then we stream it. There we go. See, I'm sure they're going to stream it anyhow, but it'd be fun getting a different perspective from you guys.
Yeah, Friday it might be fun to do it just because there's going to be a lot of streamers there. Yeah. So we could take over an entire elevator if he waits until I get there. I don't know what time I'm getting there. It depends what time we're closing up.
He usually doesn't start his stream until, you know, I think around 6, 7, something like that. 6.
Yeah, that would be so fun to do it with if everybody's in the elevator and put him front row center. That'd be perfect.
Yeah,
Just get his
exactly.
reaction.
Mhm.
By the way, Paul said, "What did it come up? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is." Oh, that's not it. The French demand more culture for Disneyland Paris.
Oh, there's Winks.
Oh, there's Winks. What do you say?
Let's do back to back.
Back to back. Well, hey, if you're down for it, Winks, that would be awesome. So it sounds like everyone wants to, do it with you on Friday and Saturday. So there you go. Very, very cool. All right. Well, you know what? I think we're kind of coming to the end of our show here. So if you guys have any questions for Shannon or for us, please throw them in the chat. Let us know, and we'll be sure to answer your questions. A couple things I did want to mention earlier is that Late Night with Cap, he made a $1 donation.
Yeah.
Was that to your channel?
Thank
Yeah.
you, Late Night with Cap.
Little
Make
Jason.
sure you're liking and following and subscribing to this channel.
There
You guys
you
want this
go.
content every week, live from Disney, because make sure I am going to be there live with you guys in the next few weeks. Like, we have to now continue this to do like a live off Pirates walking
that.
around.
All right. We do have a question from Paul. Said, asking Shannon, why can't Disneyland Entertainment bring back a great Golden Horseshoe review like it was with Wally Bogg?
I did see that comment. And I have no idea what he's talking about.
Golden Horseshoe
I'm so
reviews at
sorry.
Disneyland.
I mean, like the Western part.
Yeah, in Golden Horseshoe Saloon,
Yeah.
they used to do a show called Golden Horseshoe Review, and at the time, it was the longest running stage show ever in America because it had been running since the 50s all the way through to, I think, the 90s is when it finally ended its run. And Wally Bogg is one of the one of the main characters in that. He did a lot of different stuff with Disney. He is the voice of Jose in the Tiki Room.
Yep.
So it's a very special show for Disneyland aficionados in that we miss having a proper show in the Golden Horseshoe. And
I have
with the
been in
removal,
there. I just haven't seen it. Yeah.
yeah, they had the pianist doing a little show where he'd play the music and then tell the jokes and stuff like that. And that's now been removed. So we're all kind of wondering, are they getting ready to do another show? Can they bring a show like the
I'm not
Golden
a big
Horseshoe
fan of
Review?
change, which I feel like I'm getting the vibe of this channel. I'm not a big Disney change girl. I mean, I'm about growth, but change. I'm like, let's grow without changing. So it is hard when they take away such nostalgic shows and rides that we are so used to and grew up on and going with our families and riding with our parents. And now you're taking your kids on them and now it's ending and you're like, what? Like it's, I think that they just make these decisions based on what can we do, what can we change moving forward. And, obviously you're never going to make anyone happy.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's the kind of thing where, probably at the time, late 80s, early 90s, Golden Horseshoe Review was probably not a very popular show the way it used to be.
The Western thing wasn't
the Western slapstick vaudeville style. I mean,
it wasn't.
It's
time,
not. There's not very many people who remember those days.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of it would be a throwback kind of thing. But
I think they should. It would be a good idea for Disney to have a throwback night, not like a Disney Channel throwback night, but an actual Disneyland throwback night of everything of what it used to be, like, Splash Mountain, or like having, like that would be such for all of us Disney adults who have those memories with the older rides. Or even, the old Toontown before it, just like, that Toontown roller coaster was what I rode as a child. And now I'm like, it's changed, but they should have that.
I think that one's a dangerous thing for Disney though, when you think about it, because it's like, if they show something that they got rid of, and kind of showcase it a little bit,
and they're going to be like,
what happens if that's more popular than what they're currently doing? That's the little, risk
it's a
they
chance that they're
run.
taking.
Yeah. So
And again, you're not going to make everyone happy. And,
exactly.
us Disney adults
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of change.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is hard. It's sad. I mean, even just like every time I'd go back, I'm like, is this the last time I'm riding Splash Mountain? Like I have to do it one more time, even if it's freezing.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, it took me till I was in 8th grade to ride it. But I actually forgot I had to mention one thing. One of the biggest perks that I got during Christmas with my Disney group, we took a Disney team trip to Disneyland, and we got a private tour of Walt's apartment. And I just felt this energy and this crazy, like it was so magical. And especially because it was during Christmas, and at the time it was around like 7 p.m. when we went up there, and they had a tree up in the window and the parade was going on. And I'm like, I am in Walt's apartment, like again, I'm in horror. I love ghosts. I believe in all that stuff. So I'm like, I'm totally feeling Walt's energy right now. And again, I'm a Christmas girl. So I'm like, the Christmas parade is going on. I'm in Walt's apartment. Like, what is this? So that was mind blowing. Like, just to be able to see his apartment, like it really gave me chills. Something I'm working towards at work is you can get to see Walt's old office in the Team Disney building with all the dwarves above it. So I'm really trying to win a tour inside there. So if I ever do, I will report back.
Well,
Definitely.
Danny and I had the opportunity to go do the Walt's Main Street tour, and that was amazing.
What'd you think? Did you get the goosebumps and the feels? And
oh yeah, it was cool.
Absolutely.
It was cool. I got to be the first one to walk into the apartment
when I was in there. Yeah. Just seeing everything and the way it was set up, it just gave me chills. And it was like they really did leave it the way it was for him, even though they renovated a bit. But it was crazy the way that you can feel the spirit of Disney in there. It's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys got to experience too. So I'm not crazy.
I wanted so bad to take photos inside there, and of course they don't let you. They did have obviously
taking videos in Club 33 for me. I'm like, this is so hard for an Instagram girl who wants to video everything, and I'm guessing for you streamers too. It's hard where you're like, okay, I have to, go back to the olden days. But they did take the one photo by the window, which I was so happy to get. But yeah, it was crazy to be like, I can't even describe the feeling to everyone when I was going back and telling them after, like, how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
very cool. Let's see. Hope we already talked about Fantasmic, so we're not going to be able to go back and cover that. Let's see. What are the questions? Trying to see. I don't see any other questions. You guys see any other questions?
I'm not seeing anything.
I just thanked everyone for their birthday wishes and thanking me for having me on. It was so sweet. I loved all the comments.
Well, you have a couple more comments. Paul I'm new. It says, I want to thank Shannon so much for being here. Let's do this again. I agree. It'd be great to have you on again. And
thank you, Paul.
Jen's Crochet, who's with us in the boat, Shannon, on that wonderful day that we got stuck on Pirates of the Caribbean, says, wonderful stream, wonderful meeting you and getting to know you at the Shannon Stone.
Thank you, Jens. Cool. Well, I will hopefully see many of you at Disneyland. If you see me, please come up and say hi. If you're watching the stream and just see me, or, if you're like, is that her? But I'll hopefully be live with them again and hopefully be able to meet many of you at Disneyland and become Disney friends.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you again, Shannon, for joining us on the show today. It was a pleasure having you, and we hope that maybe one day we can have you back again. Before we go, can you please tell us where we can find you?
Well, thank you guys so much. This was so much fun. Thank you for my first podcast. You can find me on Instagram mainly and TikTok at the Shannon Stone. And that's pretty much all the platforms I use. But you can also find me around Disneyland once a month. Maybe this Saturday.
There you go.
At the Shannon Stone.
Very cool. And down here, we have got Cordy in California. So, Cordy, tell us when you're going to be streaming again and where we can find you.
I will be in the parks on Thursday, Friday, Sunday. And you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. CORDY in California.
Nice. All right. And of course, right here, Theme Park Casual. Where
You can find me on
streaming?
YouTube, Twitter/X, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual. I have a reservation for Wednesday, and if work cooperates, I will be there Wednesday night live streaming. Probably just doing a relaxing kind of a stream, prepping for Fantasmic this weekend. I will be at the park on Friday night, non-streaming, and then back again on Saturday is the plan to be back there, and then stream possibly the whole day at Disneyland.
All right, great. And everyone, I will be streaming tomorrow on T3PO. So I hope you guys can catch that at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. And then I will be back on, let's see, Wednesday night at Disneyland. And hopefully I'll run into this guy over here, Theme Park Casual. Cordy, are you going to be there on Wednesday, you said? I can't remember if you said that.
No,
Thursday.
My
No,
daughter,
Thursday.
yeah.
Okay. Thursday.
She's
So come
join.
join me and Theme Park Casual for some nightly fun at Disneyland. And then I will be on vacation Thursday, and I will not be back till Monday. So after Wednesday, I probably won't be back to stream again until sometime next week. But I'm looking forward to getting back. And yes, Trivia Night's coming back, everyone. So hold tight. We will be coming back to that. And by the way, thank you, everyone, for all the well wishes for my dad. He's out of the hospital now and doing well. So thank you for doing that. You can also find me at Barry Place 28 on Instagram, X, Facebook, and of course YouTube. And I forgot TikTok. Hello, TikTok. So catch me on my socials there. On behalf of all of us tonight, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure of having you guys with us. And with that, we will see you on the next live stream. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
We hope you enjoyed our amazing show tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Have a good night, everyone.